everyone. Welcome. Welcome. That old trick will never die. Welcome, everyone. Property Banter, Zoom style. I've got to remember not to use my hands. My father told me that again. Don't use your bloody hands. Mark Armstrong, director and what am I? CEO and co-founder of Rate My Agent. And as joining me as always, Russell Cambridge, director of Biggin & Scott, Richmond. How are you, Rusty?
Excellent, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. We've got a big show lined up today, but have you had a good week?
We've had a great week, but the thing that I'd like to complain about, just as they start to open everything up again and we can go down to the beach, it is effing freezing out there, mate. It is so bloody cold, and I'm planning on going down the beach this weekend. Last weekend, beautiful, it's like summer again, and now it's like the ski season right here in Melbourne. It's unbelievably cold, yeah?
I know, it's crazy. I'm almost getting to the point where I can't wear thongs anymore. I'm still.
I don't think you'll ever get to that point, mate.
But yeah, I'm not far away.
Hey, exciting show today. Yeah, we got a very special guest from a wonderful place called Sunbury. Sunbury's famous for three things. Yeah, name them.
Wine.
We gave you a hint earlier. Home of the Ashes.
Yeah, that's right. I know. Yeah, yes.
Is where Queen got booed off stage. And thirdly, Mr. Pink himself, Adam Sacco. What a great guy. I'm looking forward to this.
Adam Sacco, we're going to bring him up in just a second. But Adam, I just want to show you his profile here. The reason we've got Adam on, Undisruptible Adam, number 3 in the Agent of the Year Awards, of the Rate My Agent of the Year Awards. He's been he actually won it in the first year of Rate My Agent. Adam actually won the Agent of the Year, and he's been pumping the reviews through the system since then. So he's a great agent. I think he dominates the bloody Sunbury market. I don't know what is your market share there in Sunbury now, Adam?
I was sitting at 22.
Welcome, Adam.
Hello, how is everyone? Hello!
Hey, what is your market share? And again, we have an undisruptible guest on every week. What are you guys doing that allows you to continue to dominate that market?
Absolutely, Mark. Hello, everyone. Yeah, we've got, at the moment, we're sitting at 22% market share of Sunbury. So more than 1 in 5 houses sold in Sunbury are sold through our company, and there's 9 agencies here. So we're doing all right.
How did you come up with the name of your business, named after a very heavy metal?
Leading.
Oh, not lead. I thought it was leading. Leading.
That's all right. You know, some people are a bit dyslexic.
Great name. Love the pink as well. How did you come up with the pink? What's the story behind that?
Pink. So at the time when we set up the company, we were trying to understand what our real job is, and our real job is actually we're marketers. So put it aside that we're real estate agents and go, well, what are people hiring us to do? People are hiring us to promote their products, understand the demographics in which we're appealing to, so we can market accordingly. So I was finding as well at the time that the majority of the time, the people that were actually calling us to do valuations and stuff like that was actually the wife or the partner, the female. So we wanted to appeal to who the real boss is, which anyone that's married knows that the wife's the real boss. So yeah, look, obviously it's true. We were looking at our competitors and going, well, how can we be different? How can we stand out of the crowd? And, pink was just something that is completely different to anyone has doing.
So everything you've got's got a touch of pink in it. Show us what you're drinking right now.
Yes, I've even strategically got the placement there of the water, so we'll get onto those.
We've just had a comment from Emma here saying that it's bloody true that the wives are the bosses. So
it's true.
Not prepared to argue. How are you finding the market, Adam? You know, are you noticing any major differences? How are you tracking compared to last year?
Yeah, absolutely. Numbers, look, as the business has grown as well, because we got ranked through Rate My Agent as number 6 in the country as well as an agency.
Right.
Look, I've found that our business has been growing. So probably it's level to where it was last year. We haven't actually been, I guess, as you call it, undisruptible. So look, it really is our team, to be honest with you. We have a very, very good team, which all of our staff are actually, listing agents as well as selling agents. So that does make a big difference instead of relying on just one. Having strength in the team has been a big deal. But yeah, look, what we've noticed through COVID, if we're going to get onto that subject, is that, look, yeah, he doesn't.
Well, we're a bit
over
COVID.
Yeah, look, what we've noticed is that our methods have had to change. But look, we've been finding a lot of success in most of the people have been private inspections, obviously, through this process. But it gives you an opportunity to qualify your buyer. You know,
question, buddy.
Pardon?
Do you do property management?
Yep.
How many sales do you make a year?
Yep.
And how many staff do you have?
Okay, so including myself, there's 9 of us in the team. Next question is, how many sales do we make? Look, in Sunbury itself, we do anywhere between 140 and 145, but we have our surrounding suburbs in Romsey and Diggers Rest, which we do a lot in as well. So look, all up, probably about 170.
Good stuff. And property management?
As in, how many do we manage? We've got 4 girls in property management and a rent roll of over 350.
Beautiful. And when did you start at Leading? Because you were with a large franchise group before Leading, and you...
Yeah, so I started off my career just under 10 years ago, and we were Ray White, but I was only with them for a short period of time before I went out on my own and started Leading. So, yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Hey, we want to, talk more about Leading as we go through, but we want to start to get into a bit of a deep dive about what's going on in the market at the moment. And I think that just to show a little article that we picked up during the week, a lot of people seem to be talking about, where am I here? A lot of people seem to be talking about the lack of supply in the market. The low stock conundrum is the headline there. And I'd love to get your thoughts on that. Just before we get into that, though, our good friend Josh Teslin doesn't appear to be having massive problems with low supply. Bought in the Air Toslin to the gold once again, baby, in Toslin, in good old Toslin speak. So obviously there's an issue with supply across the market, but some markets are being affected more than others. I can only make from that, or are some agents just still dominating because of the way they're working?
Look, what I'm seeing at the moment is that there's been a lot of apprehension to put your property on the market in the last probably month or so, with people not knowing the markets. The media has been really pushing, talking about blanketing that there's going to be a dive of 20-30%, which may be the case in some areas. But look, Sunbury itself, what it's done, this has actually done a favour probably. What it's done is cleaned out all the stock. Everything's selling, everything's getting good prices. But look, people buy and sell property for all different reasons. People are relocating to different areas, this and that. So what we've seen is that the supply levels have just dropped so much, but the demand is still always there no matter what. So essentially what's happening now is that we're seeing that it's getting to a point where, look, a balanced market for Sunbury, for scenario, is around 70, 75 houses on the market, open for inspection. That's a good market, right? That's quite balanced. Yeah. Back in February, March last year, there was actually 120 properties on the market in Sunbury, which was the highest ever in Sunbury's history. So that there was very much in favour of buyers were being a little bit cheeky, maybe putting 2 or 3 low offers on different properties and just seeing who buys. But where we're at now, the current open for inspection amount that's scheduled for Saturday is 32.
Oh, brilliant.
So 32. So what we're seeing is we're seeing quite a few buyers all competing for property again. And remember that 32 is over the entry level $450,000 to the $1.2, $1.3 million. So there really is a lack of supply. So there's an amazing window of opportunity at the moment if you're thinking of selling, obviously, because you don't have competition.
Adam, I totally agree with you. That crappy media reports of prices dropping, well, it gets our vendors under control we've got at the moment. It stops others coming on the market and then keeps the prices up firm anyhow. So that 30% never happens because these kids that write these articles. Tell me, what does 1.2 million buy you in Sunbury, so we can get an idea, please?
Ooh, okay. So the median house price in Sunbury is sitting at 546, 500 at the moment. So that said, that's probably a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, quite nice house. If you're going up to the 1.2 million, you're getting yourself probably a nice big property that's well fitted out. Like when I say big property, maybe a 40 square house on an acre. You know what I mean?
So can I ask you, Adam? You know, if there's a $1.2 million listing up for grabs in the Sunbury market,
Yep.
do you have an issue like this with real estate agents?
Hey, we come prepared in our office. I've got the baseball bat in the back of the car ready to go. And if we get really serious, we've got a crowbar.
So this is it. We'll get to it in a second. Here we go. They're going to go for it again.
Thank God we're experienced in the art of karate.
Now, I would have thought having a baseball bat in the back of your office or car, whatever it was, would be sacrilege in Sunbury. I don't know if anybody picked up what we said before. Tell us the truth. The home of cricket, the home of Ashes, is of course Sunbury. Do you know? Can you tell us the story quickly how it started in Sunbury?
My understanding was that it was between obviously the two sides, and they burnt the bales out in Rupertswood. That's my understanding of it, and then they made it a bit of a tradition there. So I'm not too big on cricket, but something like that.
It was the first time Australia beat England.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I mean, I knew that was they burnt the bales, and I knew that it was the first time Australia, because that was the death of cricket, as the English said at the time. But I didn't know it was in Sunbury. I mean, I didn't know that England played Australia in. Was it a test match? We don't know. I guess we should have done our research before.
Come on, Russ.
Oh, I know. There's something along the lines of a journalist wrote an article saying it was the death of cricket when Australia, the colonies beat the English, and they should burn the ashes and shed them somewhere. So someone, as a joke, burnt the bales and the stumps and put it in the urn and presented it to them. So,
there it is.
And so the legend began, and yes, it was in Sunbury.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a test match per se, but it sort of shocked those soft Englishmen into submission that maybe the Colonials were better at their own game. And here we are, hundreds of years later, celebrating and enjoying it.
That's it.
Hey, the other thing that I picked up during the week, I think we're all a bit sick of COVID, and as soon as we can get on with our lives and just bloody forget about it, will be wonderful. But still a lot of talk about has COVID-19 rewritten the real estate business? Is it going to change the way we do things forever, or are we just going to be like a rubber band and within a matter of weeks? I mean, you were talking before, Adam, that pubs are coming back to life on June the 1st.
Let's talk about all that. So something that I was reading during the week here. Let me pull it up. All right. So what I've been reading is that we've got Victoria to ease restrictions. From June 1, cafes, restaurants can open, and pubs, clubs to reopen with food service, a maximum of 20 patrons. And then from June 22, maximum of 50 patrons. And the follow on from that, they're saying in mid-July, maximum of 100 patrons, which is certainly going to, in my opinion, it's going to make things feel a little bit more normal for society.
What date was the 100 patrons?
100 patrons was the 22nd of June. No. 100 patrons was mid-July.
Mid-July. But and look, all of that stuff's going to come back to normal, and we're going to start shaking. I'm pretty sure we're going to start shaking hands again and do all that. I bloody hope we do.
I'm so missing giving people big sloppy kisses after they buy houses.
Yeah, well, that's why we don't travel out to Sunbury all that often. Regardless of the Ashes. But do we think, Adam? Do you think that have you changed any of the ways you do business? And do you think, like this article here in REB online, it says it's rewritten the real estate business? I mean, that's
I wouldn't go that far. Look, one thing that's really interesting is I've really noticed a massive change this week. Right, like I've been completely booked out with valuations this week, and when talking to people, the common consensus has been, "So how was your break?" And I said, What break?
I'm with you on that one, brother.
And I'm like, what break are you talking about? Yeah. And they go, like, obviously you can't sell houses because you can't do opens. And I'm like, No, you can. We've been doing private inspections and we've been able to qualify them. And obviously, we still follow the social distancing rules, 1.4 square meter, 1 per 4 square meters. But no, look, we've sold 16 houses in the past couple of weeks through COVID and doing the private inspections. And they're like, oh, I didn't know you could do that. So I've noticed since the weekend. Obviously, the weekend was the first week that we've been able to do opens. Monday, Tuesday, my phone's been going off the hook, booking appointments, Vals, because they thought now we can sell our house, which is interesting. But we've been plugging on social media as we've been selling our houses. One of the things that's our signature is we actually really stupid. We dress up in costumes, which I know, Mark, you've seen that before. Yeah. We do some funny stuff and write different things that go along with it. This week what have we dressed up as this week? Bananas in pajamas. We did. What else did we do? Did you remember that movie, A League of Their Own?
Yeah.
So we dressed up with the baseball bat and the red hat. So
another
funny stuff.
Another reason we don't go out to Sunbury.
I'll give you another one. We're on track to have a bigger month than last May. So this current May, 2020, will be bigger than 2019 for leasing. We're knocking on the door of 90 leases this month.
Wow, that's amazing.
Slam dunk.
I think, I mean, if we look at our business and what we're seeing happening, I'm pretty confident we're going to have a massive spring market. I reckon agents across the country, we should be I say we, I feel like I'm a part of the industry, even though I don't have to wear a suit and tie. But we're going to have a massive spring market. The number of appraisals going through sort of July, August into the spring market is going to be enormous. And I'll tell you the reason why I think that. Last year, we had a 20% drop in supply. So the market was already, contracted in terms of supply. There was a hell of a lot of sellers out there, vendors out there who decided to wait and not sell in 2019. And we actually saw in the first, January, February, I don't know how you guys felt. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts, but you could already feel that momentum building. And then COVID hit and it crashed. Geez, I reckon July, August, you guys are going to be under the pump.
Look, well, I tell you, Adam, you can go and get your 5th coffee after that rant. But what a couple of people have said to me, Paul Stoner, our CEO, he said, you watch, people being cooped up, locked down, shut down in their houses, they're going to fucking hate their houses. They're going to want to sell them.
I've been speaking to a few people and a few trades, and they said they have been crazy busy at the moment because people are staring and going, my backyard looks like shit. You know what I mean? And they've been ringing up the landscapers, and all of a sudden, look at Bunnings Warehouse. That's the place to be now, isn't it, Mark? Russ, everyone's going there and doing home renos and things like that.
Oh, my wife made me dye my hair. She made me get a back sack and crack wax, and she made me do press ups and get back into shape because she was sick of me.
Yeah, fair enough. I'd be sick of you too, but
I'll wear pink, I promise.
You know what I'm thinking? This is my concern, but right? So the government brought in, obviously there's a lot of people that have been freezing their mortgages. So what I'm seeing is that obviously that's only month 2 now of a lot of people are freezing their mortgages or putting off the interest and whatnot. But my concern is that obviously real estate's based on supply and demand. Now, at the moment, we've talked about previously a little bit earlier, if you're just tuning in now, we were talking about that there is only about 35 properties on the market where a normal balance market's around 70. So what I'm thinking is that if supply and demand is obviously the key to this process, because all of a sudden, if 15 of the same house come up, it's not going to be great. So my concern is that if another 3-4 months go by and all of a sudden people freak out because they're no longer able to afford their mortgages because they're just starting to get the repayments come back and whatnot. If the market does flood, that could be potentially an effect of where the pricing comes into it, and you may see a bit of a drop because it's supply and demand.
Well, yeah, and it's actually an interesting thing. For people out there who have frozen their mortgages, they probably don't realise if they've got some spare cash, they should continue. This is not financial advice. I'm not licensed to give financial advice, But if you've got the spare cash, make the normal repayment so you don't get that backlog at the end. You can still make a deposit into your loan account and get it paid off, and it's wise move because you actually might even find yourself in front if you maintain it through this frozen period. So still make payments if you've got the spare cash. Do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I mean, you're both right, but and that that idea that people, the psychology of people are weird. When no one's selling, like now is a great time to sell your property because you're not competing with anyone. But no one wants to sell because they're worried, well, there must be something wrong because no one's selling.
Yeah.
And then when everyone starts to sell, they get more comfortable and say, well, now's the right time to sell. I mean, I've said it for years. Don't sell in spring, sell in winter.
Yeah.
And
it's a much better time to sell.
Put their 2 bobs in and...
Well, they did. I think the psychology is people want to feel comfort by being involved in the group. So, you know, if everyone, that herd mentality, if everyone's doing it, I feel more comfortable because everyone's doing it. And if I don't sell as well, at least other people aren't selling as well. And if they're not doing it, I don't want to do it.
A lot of people these days, and I assume it's the same in Sunbury, but it certainly is around here. Our sellers don't sell until they bought the next one. It's harder to find their next home than it is to, you know, sell their own.
I hear you there, but you've also got the other side that a lot of people that are potentially subject to finance, you know, most of the time their finance is based on obviously their house selling. So a lot of people don't want to be selling under pressure. So they actually run the risk, you could call it. So they'll sell their house, get a long settlement, and then they're rolling the dice on the other way, hoping to find something in between and match up settlements. So I see what you're saying, but a lot of people are doing it the other way and they run that risk. Worst case scenarios, they run into a rental, you know, in the interim, but they're cashed up, ready to go.
There's no absolutely right or wrong. I think, you know, that people do it both ways.
Courses, as they say.
100%.
The last thing just to talk about, we're running out of time, but the other thing I thought was really interesting, it's not purely, hey, you know, Russell, we run a tight ship at Property Banter, 30 minutes, people don't want to bloody, you know, the people don't want to bloody listen to us. You know, the feedback we've had is come on, guys, make it shorter. Can't you just, we only want to listen to you for 20 minutes. So we run a tight ship here, Adam, 30 minutes.
I've had that all my life.
And we're bloody, yeah, I'm sure. So I think the other one, it's an interesting topic. It's not purely real estate, but it has a consequence for real estate businesses. Is will everyone go back to the office? I was saying to you guys before the show that we did a survey of our staff, and a huge chunk of people are saying, actually, I'm really comfortable working from home. I don't
blame them.
Yeah, but they're people that don't have kids, I'd imagine. You're going to want to get back straight away, escape it all.
And I promised them that I wouldn't come into the office, so they wouldn't have to deal with me as well. So that's probably what Russell was alluding to.
Put that in the survey. If Mark wasn't in the office, would you like to come back to the office? Try it that way.
Yeah. Hey, Sam, if you're listening to this, if you could reword that survey. But I'm interested in from a real estate, certainly from a tech point of view, we can, and Twitter came out and actually said during the week that you can work from home forever if you want. They've basically made a blanket commitment that said if you want to work from home every day forever, you can. Do you think that might flow onto the real estate industry or not?
I find it very difficult to think about that because I look at it from a team perspective, because obviously no good real estate agency is one person. It's a team. So I'll give you a hypothetical or just a logistical scenario. So we've got a few different agents that are working on things, and they've got their rapports with their different clients, and they want to have a look at a property. Now, the keys need to be centrally positioned somewhere, you know, and what about all the files and Section 32s and all those different things? You need a central base, because if Melinda, one of my staff, has got the keys at her house and I need to quickly go and take a buyer through, how do I get them? Where is she? Where are they? Are they in her car and she's gone to another appointment on the other side? I think from a real estate perspective, you still need to be able to have a central base. And it does look a lot more professional too when you're signing contracts. Obviously, we've got DocuSign and things like that, which is fantastic. Really
real-time agent, all that sort of stuff. Good stuff nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, look, I don't know, but I think you need a central base.
Look, I agree with you. I think it's more personally, I think they missed the camaraderie. We've allowed early on, at their request, that they could, up to half a team we've got a number of teams in our property management. They can come back into the office and work. And it was more about maintaining those or keeping those away because more wanted to come back than we sort of allowed. So, you know, I think the camaraderie was definitely missed throughout all of this.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's kept me sane is actually coming to the office and seeing my staff, because we're a pretty tight family here, the 9 of us, and you know, it's good just to see each other and even just vent, you know, because you're obviously dealing with different clients and different things, and you know, for mental health even, you know, I think being able to unify and come up to each other, otherwise you get stuck in a rut, I reckon.
Oh, homeschooling. I've got 2 kids doing homeschooling. As soon as that pencil case come out, I'm off.
I don't have that problem, Russ. My kids take after me. They're geniuses, so they just.
Oh, wow.
Hey, but no, look, from our point of view, we've decided to. I really like the idea of becoming an employer of choice, and just saying to people, look, if you want to come in, come in. If you don't want to come in, don't come in. You know, just having that flexibility, and then actually saying, you know, you don't need. I agree with you, Adam. I think there does need to be a central base. I think.
What's Russell doing there?
Well, some bright thing suddenly the sun's come out in Melbourne. So
what's going on there? No, but you know that having that central base is important. But the question is, does it need to? Do the offices need to be as big in the future? You know, is it a hot desking environment where you do have a central base? We've got 70 people in our business, and we've got enough desks for every single person. But you know, I don't know what the answer is. But
it's all relative, isn't it, to different requirements, and you know, obviously different businesses have different requirements of the spaces that they require.
There was an article in the week the other day. This is people going fucking mental for ideas. Hot desks are a thing of the past due to COVID-19. You can't share a freaking desk anymore.
Someone's asking us questions. I still want my own desk. I forgot to look at the questions, everyone. We're just about running out of time. But we've got some comments there that it will only change if you let it change. Just keep doing what you do within the bounds of what you can.
Amen. Whoever said that's exactly what we've been living by there. So we've obviously got our things that we can and can't do, but we've made sure that whatever we can do, we'll do it, and we'll do it well.
Beautiful. Hey guys, we're running out of time. I just thought, Adam, you alluded to it before about the idea that June the 1st, we're going to be able to not have to drink alone with our children. We can actually go out to a restaurant and a pub that serves food. Do we think that it's going to be a little bit like this when we finally get back out there? Let me share this.
Hey, it's okay. It's all right. You can come in, it's legal now. You can have as many points as you like. Yeah, I know it's weird.
Subtitles, yeah, it's in English.
Come inside. No point, it's okay.
Oh, it's heaven.
Is that what it's going to be like for us? I mean, that was a very sexist thing, because I'm sure my wife is going to walk into a pub in the same way as well. She's going to be wrapped. It's going to be a momentous day, I think. It's going to be a day of Maybe we all need to take a week off work and just focus on, you know.
I miss restaurants. Like, there's this beautiful sushi train down in Little Collins Street in Melbourne. It's called Sakura Flower. That's my favourite restaurant in Melbourne. And I miss going to a restaurant. So I'm really hanging.
So do I. And leaving the kids at home and just walking to the top of the hill where I am in Northcote and just have a couple
I miss my corporate box at the soccer.
Yeah, and football. Football's coming back. It's going to be weird, but I can't wait for that to come back too.
Can't wait for footy. Hey, Adam, thank you so much for joining us. We'd love to have you back at some stage.
Absolutely.
We always love a Rate My Agent alum. Is it alumni? I don't know what you call it, but anyway, Rate My Agent legend status. Let's call it that. So love having you on board. We'll see you again soon. Rusty, as always.
Thank you, Adam. Good to meet you, mate. Colourful character. Let's have a steak at Marcelleria in Richmond one night.
I love it down that way, so it sounds like a plan.
All right, guys.
Pleasure.
To everyone watching, see you next week.
See you, everyone.
Bye-bye.